Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. He's Brett Grosso. This is Locked Up Sports. Welcome to the show, everybody. Brett is down in Florida. I'll be down in Florida tomorrow. Brett, how's the weather down there? Is it nice and warm for me?
Beautiful out. Palm trees.
Yeah, palm trees.
Can't beat it. Out on the screen porch, hanging out. It's actually, I'm sweating, to be honest with you. It was been pretty nice all week. I know we're going to get some good weather. We're heading over. I will be driving over to Port St. Lucie tomorrow. I'm over in Tampa right now.
It's going to be over with the Yankees. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt over there, Brett. Everybody's getting hurt over there.
No, I'm slotted as number 5 right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Stroman right up at the top, and you know how I feel about him. So good luck with that, Yankee fans.
The day I leave, it's going to be 70 degrees here. So that's just my
that's not bad. Yeah, it's supposed to be real nice when we're down, especially like when we're on the field for the game on Thursday. It's going to be real. I'm telling you, we're set up for some good weather because it's been on and off. It's been nice, but we got nailed with some cold weather the last couple days and some rain, but nope, looking good now.
All right, good. Can't wait. And like I said, as long as I make it, as long as that plane makes it, there's been,
as long as nobody keeps getting. Yeah, no, don't worry. Like you said, you just got to make it down here. Don't worry about the rest. No, the Mets. I mean, you got to make sure everybody's still not injured.
Listen, the story of the day, the story of the week is injuries, whether it be the Mets, the Yankees, the Knicks, and this morning, just 5 minutes ago, or we saw it 5 minutes ago. Breaking news is that Francisco Alvarez, starting Mets catcher, out 6 to 8 weeks, surgery, broken thumb. Not good. We did good for like 2 weeks. We had all those injuries, then we did good, no injuries, things were going right. Now you got Nimmo just 2 days ago saying, it's just inflammation, but that's got to be a little worried.
Deal too. No, that's a big deal. When they say, listen, there's no structural damage, but I still feel like there is. That, some people just don't recover as well. And now it's with Nimmo, you have a big problem because a guy like him, they go, oh, no, he's going to be ready for opening day. A guy like Nimmo is going to go be ready for opening day regardless of if he's okay to play on opening day. He's going to play anyway. And when you start doing that with 162 plus games left, good luck, man, because you need to rest these guys early if they're injured.
And now you got Alvarez out 6 to 8 weeks, and that's big. Because Alvarez, I thought, this is a big year for Alvarez, right? He had a big rookie year. Then last year, not so great. Some injuries, not slumping, not good. And then everyone, just the sophomore slump. And now he came back, and now he's out 6 to 8 weeks. Now, it's usually, I always say it's going to be 8 weeks. It's got to be the long end of these numbers that they give you. And, that's not good. Now we got Torrens.
The hand at 6 weeks is going to come down to a pain tolerance issue. Now, I look back, I don't even know which hand it was. Is it his glove hand where he's going to be taking pitches? Because that makes it a lot more difficult than it is just gripping the bat. When you're taking, how many pitches? Probably 200 plus in a day when it comes to practice sessions and whatever. So I think it's going to come down to pain. A young guy like Alvarez is going to heal actually much faster. So don't be surprised if he's back. Nimmo's knee, though, that does worry me more than anything. So who we got, though, coming in and when Alvarez is down? That's a big loss.
Torrens is going to be the catcher. It's I guess serviceable would be the word, but then he's gonna. It's not good because you can't. You know why? Because the Mets, because Lindor historically gets off to bad starts. Lindor's like a 210 hit, 205 hitter in April historically, and I know he's doing things this year to try and turn that around and start better. But it's not good. And the Mets with the bad start last year, you can't fall behind. You can't be 7 games back at the end of April like you were, like you are in some of these other years, expected to come back every year because it's not going to happen.
No. You have to. Let me tell you. But what would you rather be injured, Bob? Would you rather these guys get hurt right now in spring training with a couple weeks left to heal? Because how many regular season games is Alvarez going to miss? We got 3 weeks until the regular season starts.
3 weeks.
So that means he's only got what? We're missing Alvarez for about 3 weeks to 4 weeks in the regular season. Nimmo honestly is supposed to be ready for the regular season. They're talking much better stuff when it comes to Minaya. They're projecting him to be back quicker than they expected. The lad is actually recovering well. And we know Montas is going to be out for a while. So honestly, the only long-term guy right now that's out is Montas
and Magical.
And Magical, but that's, he's a utility backup guy. I'm not
but that's big because now
we can fill that gap in with plenty of other guys that are the young guys and whatever, which I like the playing time coming up.
It's going to be filled in with Batty, it looks like, because it looks like Acuna is not going to make the team, and he has options and stuff. Batty, this is his last chance for Brett Beatty. It's his last chance. He's got to come up. He's gonna be playing some third base, some second base. You got McNeil too playing second base. He's gonna be a starting second baseman. He hasn't hit in like 2 years. And the pitching staff, regardless of what you say, Senga, there's something going on with Senga too, because they're kind of babying him here.
Yeah.
They haven't said anything. The pitching staff is a question mark. Peterson is your number 2 starter, then Holmes, Canning, Griffin, Blackburn. Who are these guys? Blackburn coming off of that back. Basically, like a terrible back.
Blackburn has looked awful in the spring training, and I try not to make too much of that because sometimes they're just like pitch to contact or just do this, and they're not like trying to get the guy out as much as they're trying to work through their own stuff. So it's 2 different things. Sometimes you're up there just throwing it even though you know the guy might hit it. It's not about having him swing and miss. It's about working on whatever it is you're working on. But the one guy who has been a bright spot is Clay Holmes has looked great. Now, again, that doesn't mean anything until it happens, but he has looked like he's settled in as a starter. He's been able to be very effective and even getting some innings in. So it's not like he's 1 or 2 innings, 4 or 5 innings now, which is what we need him to get up to. So he looks kind of ready. Positive signs with that. I do have faith that Manaea will be back, before, not like a June type of thing like we dealt with last year. Senga, there you go. Biggest question mark going. Is he ready? Is he healthy? Are they just being conservative? I really, honestly, I'd like to get some of those answers when we get to spring training in the next week. And
he gets the 6 days. They could go with 5-man rotation for like the first month, the way the schedule's set up, and still give him his 6 days. But I guess when it does, it's gonna be McGill, right? I guess that's who will be the 6th starter.
I guess. I mean, wouldn't you rather have a guy who probably?
I guess when Manaea comes back.
Well, what about Sproat? What about a guy who's outpitched pretty much everybody else in this season so far, in the spring training?
Sproat
I'm all for letting him start in the minors, but that man will be in our rotation this year, barring any injuries. And I'm talking from him, regardless of who's in our rotation.
Yeah,
Blackburn will play himself out. Someone, McGill might play himself out.
Griffin Canning.
Griffin Canning, but again, someone's going to play well out of that. You're going to get a little bit of a surprise out of somebody. Don't forget, Bob, we're so used to our teams being, if this pitcher if he gives up more than 3 runs, we're going to lose. This is supposed to be a different team. This is supposed to be an offensive team that cares. So a guy like Griffin Canning, you can go out and give up 4 runs in a game, but you pitch 6 and still get the win. You win 8-4. And that's the plan for this team. So if we're looking for, like you said earlier, serviceable. If we got serviceable pitching all year and our hitting does kind of what it's supposed to do and barring injuries, I think this team is gonna really flourish offensively. But pitching,
and then Diaz came out. Diaz was all over the place in his first outing. No good. Nah, I'm not putting too much stock in whether they're good or bad.
No.
Diaz, listen, it's a worry, right? It's always a worry with Diaz. I don't trust any of them out of the bullpen.
100%. We know that Diaz is going to give us a whole bunch of problems. We know that, he's going to walk batters in a 1-run game, and he's going to give up a solo home run.
It's like John Franco all over again.
Right, but what we did see, which I was very happy about, outside of the 1 inning where he, blew up and then came back after the Alonso home run, when the pressure came on, the lights were the brightest. I like what Diaz did, and that's a first year off of a big Achilles injury. Let me tell you, second year is a big thing after that. So I think this year to expect bigger things, better control. I think he's more focused on the actual pitching aspect as opposed to the rehab aspect of how does my knee feel as opposed to how it is my arm and my pitching. And it's a different thing. So I actually think Diaz is going to be fine. I think that bullpen is going to be an absolute savior this year. I don't know who it is that's going to step up. Someone's going to screw it all up. But I'm telling you, man, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the bullpen goes, it's basically, listen, there's no more Adam Ottavino, which is always a good thing. And you got Stanek and Minter, who are supposed to be pretty good. Yeah. And this guy Kranick. The Max Kranick, he's all right. He's got good numbers, and it's in Diaz. That's what it is. Kranick is going to be like the long man, I think, and Stanek I think is going to be the guy who's going to be the 8th inning guy, right? Stanek to get to Diaz, and then as far as the outfielders go, you got Nimmo's a question mark with a little bit of an injury, and you have
but that's why you should be leaving Nimmo out for the first couple weeks. You need that knee to heal. Nimmo's not going to come out of that lineup once you put him in it. You have extra players to come in there and back up and play in Nimmo's spot. Like, I'm telling you, they should not have Nimmo starting on opening day based on what we're looking at with this knee right now.
Well, we'll see. Big news is, again, Francisco Alvarez, 6 to 8 weeks, broken thumb, surgery, just a bad start to your Sunday if you're a Mets fan. Now, the Yankees, it's even worse. It's even worse. Gerrit Cole is looking like he might be out for a year to 2 years. He's saying, I'm looking for once they start talking second opinions, that means they got a bad first opinion. And the bad first opinion on an elbow is Tommy John.
We need some type of Tommy John or whatever other,
you got Stanton, whose career might be over.
Yep.
He's like, it's real bad. It's real bad. They're all over. The Yankees are losing everybody.
Stanton's like that. Stanton's never going to survive a season. So if the Yankees want to actually keep Stanton and get any kind of use out of him, he's the type of guy where I wouldn't even let him play until the All-Star break. I would ramp him up at the All-Star break, let him go. He'll get injured about, late August. Then he'll recover and be ready in time for postseason. But if you try and get a guy like Stanton with 2 bad elbows on his 3rd round of PRP injections, let me tell you, that's inflammation that the moment that it comes back and the more he swings, it's just going to creep up.
It sounds like he needs the surgery. They're just trying everything, and they're trying so hard for it not to get the surgery.
I don't even know if there is surgery that can fix what, was going on with Stanton that he's even recovering from. Like, that's the type of thing. Like, it's almost similar to Nimmo's where it's like, once you get to where it's just soreness and inflammation, and those aren't, you don't cut that out. You just got to kind of be patient and, do whatever you can. Cortisone injections and PRP and gel injections in your knee. Let me tell you, this has ruined more careers than anything. Sometimes they surgically fix it. And players just, when you take away your ability, someone like Nimmo especially, who he uses his legs to generate almost everything that he does on a baseball field. It's not like he can just sit up there and I'm going to crush home runs all day. Like, he needs to hustle. He needs to play outfield.
But Nimmo's young. Nimmo's younger.
But
like Stanton's too old to miss a full season.
But you have a knee. No, you're right. Well, Stanton's on the end. Like, the Yankees are just trying to get a couple good at-bats out of him.
Yeah.
Yankee fans can say all they want. He's the only reason they had any success last year in the postseason, him and Soto.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, like, that man is the only reason why you guys even had an inkling of thinking that you're good. And it was the guy who you guys hate the most. And your biggest guy who you have, Judge, who did nothing in the postseason. You lost Soto, who finally did something in the postseason. Cole's out, and he's the only guy who carried you, at least recently when he started pitching well in the postseason. The Yankees are in massive trouble. They have Marcus Stroman, that's going to be one of their top starters.
No, Stroman's going to be for the 4-star. It's going to be Max Fried, Rondon, Clark Schmidt, then Stroman, then Will Warren. And Stroman, he was bitching and moaning and crying. I'm not going to the bullpen. I'm not this. I'm a starting pitcher. He's not a starting pitcher anymore, really. Now he's got his chance. So let's see what he can do.
He's a regular season inning eater, and it's going to be up to him whether or not he just shows up and doesn't want to be there now. I mean, he's making the money.
No, now he's going to want to be there because now he's got what he wants. He's being in the rotation.
Yeah, but he's going to get booted at the end. That's how it always works. So I don't even know. Like, when it comes down to the postseason rotation and your guy gets you one great start, one awful start, that's what you always get out of Stroman. You get one good one, one bad one, back and forth. He's a 12-10 type of pitcher with a 4 ERA, and it's serviceable, Bob. It's the word of the day.
Serviceable. And by the way, I don't know about you, but I got a bunch of inboxes and Facebook and emails and texts of the video of Soto misplaying the ball in the outfield. Let's pump the brakes on that, Yankee fans, because all we got to do is show you the center fielder, your star, your captain, last year in the World Series, dropping a ball that I could have caught with my eyes closed. So let's stop saying things about this Soto and his fielding, and he misplayed one ball in spring training. So calm down about that. You got bigger worries than that.
Dude, the middle of this Mets lineup is going to be an absolute monster. People don't realize adding that to these guys, having support before and after Lindor, Alonso, Nimmo. I mean, even when you get guys back, like, it's going to make Alvarez better. So let me tell you, we can talk about the Mets pitching all we want. Pitchers don't pitch 7 or 8 innings anymore. You're just looking for a guy who can get you 5 innings, gave up less than 4 runs, maybe 3. And, your offense is supposed to do the trick. So the Yankees, though, they didn't beef up that team enough to get to that point. They didn't add that next starter. They didn't make that next trade. They had the option. Now they're going to be forced to. And let me tell you, that's not a fun thing to do when you're going to the bargaining table and, you're the one who's about to get fleeced and you're trying to give up Stroman. The Yankees aren't going to have a farm system by the time this is all done, and they're going to waste They have wasted and absolutely wasted the peaks of Cole's and Judge's careers. They had options to get there, and let me tell you, they should be happy that they even made it as far as they did last year. And they all think that that's going to be a perennial thing. I don't see it happening right now.
Yeah, so listen, it's all injuries, and with the Mets, with the Yankees, you just got to withstand it. Just get out of there. Get out of Florida, because now you're hitting the dog days of spring training where it's kind of like, okay, well, they're getting sick of it. Let's get this going for real. And you just don't. Now listen, there better not be more injuries when we're down there. It better not be. But anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. And what are we gonna talk about, Brett? More injuries. This time with the Knicks and a big one. And is their season over? We'll be back right after this. This is Locked Up Sports.
With opening day fast approaching, Locked Up Sports is taking over Port St. Lucie, March 12th through the 14th. We're bringing you 2 shows a day from Met Spring Training in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Bob and Brett will have special guests, exclusive interviews, and all the latest Mets news you need. Don't miss Locked Up Sports, live from Port St. Lucie, March 12th through the 14th. Your team, your town, your show.
Brett, I got a professional to do that commercial for us. How about that?
I see that. That was nice. That was nice.
That's not me. Usually it's just me in these things. That was a real professional.
I was surprised when I heard it the first time. I was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
No,
that's a lot. The Knicks, Brett, Brunson, is it over? Is it because it's going to be 6 weeks? It's going to be the rest of the regular season, I think. It's one of those, I've had it. I've had that injury where I rolled my ankle and it's just blown up and it hurts forever. And the thing is it's the reason they're saying 2 weeks is because it's too swollen for them to even tell right now. That's what I'm guessing.
It's the good part about that, as long as there's no like grade 3, like really bad or a tear or anything like that, it's going to come down to waiting and then a pain tolerance issue. It's not like, oh, you're going to go hurt it like if you did this or that. So he always has tended to come back a lot sooner than we've seen, Bob. We've seen him play through a lot of injuries. We've seen him even play up a lot of injuries where you're not even sure if he's hurt.
Because they can't play without him. They can't play without him. They lost to the Clippers the other night.
Listen, they better learn how to play without him, because there's one guy who's going to find out whether or not, and he's got to step up, and that's Mikal Bridges. This is his time to shine, man. 5 picks for him. He's literally been non-existent for most of the year. And now with Brunson down, he better find his spot into this offense, because I can understand when it's not your team and you come in as this, for all these draft picks, but now you have no excuses. You better pop in. You better take over this game. And if he doesn't, it's going to be the biggest disappointment, I think, in the Knicks history for trades.
Yeah, but listen, I think they gave up way too much. I think they're expecting way too much.
Of course they did.
Brett, he's not playing. This is who he is what I'm saying. Like, this is who he is, because he's basically playing to his numbers that he's played to his whole career. And I have it up here somewhere. But he's scored 17.5 points per game. He's averaged in his career 14.6, 3.1 rebounds this year. He's averaged 4 assists, 3.4 this year, 2.6 is his career average. What do you want him to do?
Think about what the Knicks gave up for him and for what the Lakers gave up for Luka Doncic. And you look over and you're like, I understand they traded Anthony Davis with it, but you're telling me the Knicks could have went out. Now the Knicks are looking around, and people are talking about Giannis. People are talking about, who are they going to bring in next, like for next year? I don't even know. I honestly have no clue where the Knicks go. But let me tell you, without Jalen Brunson, they all need to step up. Cat's going to need to step up.
He needs to play defense.
You
got to start playing defense.
They all need to start playing defense. And then,
it could be the end of Thibodeau. It could be the end of Thibodeau, because now they can scapegoat him. If they fall to the 4 or 5 speed seed and go out in the first round, they can scapegoat Thibodeau, and it could be the end of him.
Or does Thibodeau, or does he go and make it where this team actually comes out and starts competing? We've seen this with other teams. Just because it was run through Brunson, and we know how great Brunson is, they do have some other guys who are pretty good on that team that could, make run, but they weren't competing at all anyway versus any of the top teams. They weren't even staying close versus those teams.
And they lost that Lakers game.
Teams, with Brunson and with all the mid-level teams, they're coming down to the last 5 minutes within 5 points in every single game, even the ones that they won. So they don't play where they're like beating up on these easier teams. They're just winning the majority of those winnable games, and they're losing to every other good team.
Yeah, with Brunson, even that Lakers game, they lost that. They blew a 10-point lead with Brunson on the floor.
What are the Knicks going to do when they go up and play a team, say like the Cavs or even like the Celtics? You're going to play them in a 7-game series. They've lost 10 games all year. You think that they're going to lose 4 out of 7 to you? They've lost 10 games total.
But I don't think it's about beating the Cavs or the Celtics. They're not beating the Cavs or the Celtics.
Nobody's beating those teams except for each other 4 games out of 7.
Maybe Oklahoma City. Maybe Oklahoma City.
No. I will give you Oklahoma City has their shot in the West. But I'm saying in the East, those 2 teams, I don't think there's anybody who has a shot. And I'm not saying, listen, we've seen this in last year too. One of those guys gets injured, just like it happened last year with Giannis, and just like it happened with some of these other guys. Donovan Mitchell gets injured. The Cavs aren't the Cavs.
No, but the Knicks have a better shot against the Cavs. They have a better shot against the Cavs.
No, I believe that. And I believe the Knicks have a shot because of, when you step up that game and everybody's ready and you're playing in the playoffs, I think the Knicks can compete.
And they beat the Cavs already. They beat the Cavs 2 years ago.
Anybody. No. They can compete in the series versus anybody. But the Celtics, I mean, good luck. You're going to need everybody and a Brunson and Cat, and you're going to need everybody playing at the most elite level and healthy. OG's got to be healthy. You know how it goes, man. Like, without
did you see the game last night?
Like
Celtics, Lakers, and listen, and LeBron basically had a triple-double in the first half, and they were still down 4. They opened up with a 10-0 run, the Lakers did. And then by the mid-third quarter, with the Cavaliers scored, the Lakers scored like 8 points in the third quarter. They were down 21. Now they made a furious comeback that fell a bit short, but the Celtics are much better. The Lakers are not a championship team even with Luka.
The Lakers, and that's how you see it though. The Lakers have, the Celtics have such depth and such guys who can play all those positions that when you have that little lull, because when you go sit your starters and the other team leaves in their starters, you're going to have a run in every NBA game. So if you're down by 20, they make up those 10 points. But the Celtics are so deep that those runs, you're never going to make that.
Yeah, they were down like 25 points. They were down like 25 points in the third quarter.
And the moment that they want to, they sub back in those players. And all of a sudden, they're right back to where it is.
And they hit threes.
Stay even.
They hit threes, so it just stops. And the three stops any run.
That's what the NBA has become. If you have that choice, if you have different choices to hit those threes, which we've seen from the Knicks last year, and then you have somebody who can kind of penetrate a little bit, you have a shot. Like if you have 3 makers, you can win any playoff series. That is for sure. And I hope the Knicks step up because let me tell you one thing that they're not doing. You expect Mikal Bridges to be sitting in that corner all day and making a lot of those threes. He's not. You know what I mean? You expect all those guys to honestly have a higher percentage, and that's what got them where they were last year. And if they don't pick that up a little bit and start they're in trouble, man.
For his career, but that's what I'm saying, Brett. For his career, he's 37.1% from behind the 3-point line. This year, he's 35%. So how much better is he really going to be? Why are we expecting so much out of him?
You're not. You are where you are. It's just you're expecting more of him because you gave up your whole lot.
That's your fault, though. That's the Knicks' fault.
That's so dumb. It's so dumb. But you are going to find out if he's capable of stepping up when Brunson's down.
Yeah.
It's much different when the ball is in your hands for 30, 40% of the game as opposed to 10% of the game. So you have to. It's very hard when you're a basketball player who they work very much on, on a streaky. So if a guy like him gets more playing time, they have a much more chance of staying hot, being more consistent. They get more shots in their spot. So I do believe that you're going to see much bigger numbers out of him, but he needs to take that and do it. He needs to try and go for it. You can't just be passive now. When Brunson's out, someone needs to lead this team, and I don't even know who that is right now.
And
is it OG?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think OG is going to be the person who steps up if there is one.
Catalyst. No, he's the catalyst, offensively and defensively.
Because you're going to get what you're getting out of Cat anyway. He's going to put his points. He's not going to play defense.
Yeah,
but
double
the Knicks
for sure.
And the Knicks are good. They're better with Mitchell Robinson on the court. That gives them some size. But he doesn't play. He doesn't play back-to-back games anymore. So I mean, what's the point?
No, he's in a ramp-up phase too, where they're just worried about him. If they play him back-to-back games, he will be injured before the postseason comes.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't have him back-to-back.
No, but the Knicks is a very different team when a guy like him is in the postseason and he is playing back-to-back games. When you are putting full effort in, night after night. So I do believe that you're getting a different Knicks team every night, depending on who's on the floor and what it is. But in the postseason, you're going to get that same everybody 100% effort every night. And I think that's the Knicks team we're looking for that we're not seeing. We keep looking for this 100% max effort Knicks team, and they don't exist because if they did, they're not going to make it to the postseason alive. Like, that's what I think is that we're going to see a little bit different of a uptick. The problem is teams like the Celtics are going to be able to play better. I think the Cavs, though, I don't think they have another gear. I think they're playing max. Yeah. So the Celtics, though, they're toying with people. The Celtics are going to all of a sudden play, and they're going to step up their game, and they're going to beat teams by 40 in the postseason.
And I think the only benefit that if you could call it that for the Knicks is if they drop down a spot or two. In the second round, if they get through the first round, in the second round, they'll get Cleveland. They'll get Cleveland, not the Celtics. And I think they're better against Cleveland because they beat Cleveland. Celtics, the defending champions, and the Celtics, the lore. You have a better shot against Cleveland if you have any shot.
Wasn't that what we had that discussion last year of they were like, if they almost played themselves into a harder series and which one. But you can't have that thought. You have to go in of, I don't care. We have to play everybody. We have to beat everybody no matter what, right?
Then they lost to the Pacers.
Exactly.
So you never know.
So it's like, you don't know who you want to play and who's going to be hot, and we don't know who's going to roll an ankle that last week of the season. That shifts everything. You can have 100 wins or 80 wins. Nobody gives a crap if your star player goes down because that's the reason you got those 80 wins. So there's a lot still to be said about, do the Knicks recover? Are they healthy going in? Does somebody else get hurt? Things change really quickly. Being the regular season champion means absolutely nothing.
What about the in-season tournament champion?
That means less than nothing.
So, all right. So, Brett, go get in the pool or something, right? It's hot down there. I'll be down there. I'll be down there in a couple days. 2 days, I'll be down there. Where we got a nice Airbnb right on the golf course, right across the street from the stadium, from the Mets camp. Yep. We got everything. I got some Duffy's points still from when I lived down there, so I'll be getting us some dinner and stuff.
Oh, did you really? Oh, nice.
Yeah, I still get the emails. I still get Duffy's points.
We got some more locked up loot to drop while we're down here. We dropped some in Union. Bob dropped some.
You got the one yesterday. When you find out loud.
Yeah, if anybody, seriously, because we had someone else pop up yesterday too. Our friend, Rob Blair's son found his, or at least Rob did, and they finally posted theirs.
And make your post public.
Out of the woodwork.
Make your post public so everybody can see it. We're trying to spread the word here, people.
Listen, and tell me it's working. People like it. It's just about them seeing it. So trust me, and you never know.
People like free stuff. They don't care what it is.
Yeah,
they like free stuff.
Could be some signed Mets gear. Could be some locked up sports T-shirts. Maybe some tickets. But we'll be down in Port St. Lucie for the next few days. We're going to be all over the place. So looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what we bring you. And let me tell you, can't wait to get down here, Bob, because it's beautiful, Bob. It is beautiful.
It's going to be fun. Can't wait. That does it for us here today. Right. Breaking news, Alvarez out 6 to 8 weeks. Injuries. Mets, Yankees, Knicks.
Come get it.
Brett, see you in a couple days. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. See ya.